From the humans' first inception, they were there. The Gnolls aren't mindless beasts. They're Azeroth's first conquerors. A cursed race that nearly destroyed Stormwind twice and still haunt every human kingdom's borders. My name's Will, and today we'll uncover the definitive history of the hyena folk, from their interesting origin shrouded in mystery all the way to their forgotten empires. Sit back, relax, and let's dive in. So, there are a few theories on where the Gnolls originally came from, as we've never had a god, ancient, or evolutionary line to tag them to, but there are two main theoretical origins. They did, or didn't, evolve. If the Gnolls did evolve, the origins would be simple. A hyena-type wild god or ancient that roamed the land before the War of the Ancients. Whilst there isn't one explicitly mentioned, with the scale of this war, we can assume there were more parts to the story that Blizzard just didn't get around to touching on. Now for the fun bit. If the Gnolls didn't evolve, if they were created. Now, this theory states ancient Fae spirits transformed early human tribes into hyena men as a punishment for burning sacred forests in Tirisfal. But this was no mindless curse, it would have carried a purpose. Now, still within the theory, the wolf god Goldrinn recognised their ferocity. During the War of the Ancients, the Gnoll packs fought alongside wild gods against the Legion, and it would fall in line with the lore and the ancients that we know of to fight as Goldrinn's pack, essentially. But at the end, they were abandoned as beasts, no longer part of his pack, and severed from the only entity to ever take a shining to them. This rejection would have then birthed eternal rage, with modern Gnolls like Hogger as well as Garfang, who we'll get to shortly, leading attacks on camps, but not just attacking them, but desecrating them, as a testament to their lonely rage. Now we fast forward a little bit to where, at their peak, Gnoll clans ruled half of Eastern Kingdoms. This was named the Null Dynasty, where they controlled areas from Westfall all the way to Wetlands for about 200 years. They built tunnel networks beneath Elwyn, enslaving local kobolds to do so, and this was all ruled by pack leader Garfang, who unified and controlled the Gnoll tribes, eventually launching huge attacks on Stormwind. And though Stormwind was their biggest target, they didn't just focus on one human kingdom. Even up north, they dominated Lordran's eastern forests, as well as practicing something called corpse fermentation to create plague-like toxins against their attackers. Their tactics were cruel and calculated, poisoning wells with rotted flesh, training hyenas as living bombs, and burying prisoners alive as essentially camp foundations, as well as, of course, everybody knows, using their skin as the camp's tent flesh. The humans at the time knew the only way to win was to defeat Garfang. The Battle of Stormwind's Best against Garfang and his personal guard lasted 24 hours before the Gnoll finally fell. So this first little discovery is a bit silly, but hey, that's World of Warcraft. There is a long time and well-known character in the Warcraft universe known as Little Timmy. Referenced and shown in both WoW and the Warcraft series. He was once kidnapped by Gnolls, and it was up to the late Arthas Menethil to save him. One of Arthas's many acts of heroism, before, not doing many acts of heroism. The thing I find most fascinating is for as long as there have been humans, of course the humans we know where they're degenerated Vrykul, there have been Gnolls. and since the early human evolution has some cloudy spots in terms of lore, the Gnolls do essentially just appear fighting humans. And for this reason, I am really inclined to follow the second theory of Gnolls originally being humans, since in the history, there isn't one shown without the other. And of course, while I was searching for unused models or quests surrounding the Gnolls, their name of course begins with GNO. And well, I found this. Now, I don't know if I've been living under a rock, but I genuinely have no idea where this has come from. I just found it absolutely hilarious. If you have any idea where this comes from, I would love to know. I found it as a gnome headboard, and the tree was to do with essentially pet headboards. So I don't know if there's a pet gnome somewhere, but I thought this was brilliant. And also, while we are on gnomes for just a second, does this warrant another video on them? I've never seen this before in my life, and I'm wondering if it's another model that was planned for the Cut Noma revisit in Wrath. I found this on the 4.0 client. Back on track. If Gnolls have evolved since the humans, are they learning to be stronger too? Because as we turn our attention to bigger and bigger threats, could the Gnolls end up becoming one? We've taken our eyes off of them, and yet they've continued to stick around. We even saw them in Dragonflight, where they've managed to harness powers of necromancy through shamanism. And we've learned that it only takes one clever Gnoll to unite the clans and wage devastating war on the rest of the continent. So are they winding up for another punch? Though a little stupid, the Gnolls remember what Azeroth forgot, that they ruled first. And with every tunnel they made the kobolds dig, every mindless raid that they encountered, they're reclaiming the legacy. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and please let me know what else we should look into. Thank you so much for watching, and do have a lovely day.